And now, I'd like to introduce you all to someone extremely important to the success of this program. This woman that you're about to meet works with her team to run hundreds of cultural exchanges and other programs to make the world a safer, friendlier, and a smaller place. Her work is key to relationships between the United States and each of your countries and countries all around the globe. She came to government service from an incredible business background. She has worked with Marriott and a number of other countries that are brand names, globally known, and you would recognize them. She is a tremendous personal friend, and we share some good common background. Her dad spent some time knocking on doors and selling door to door. I'd like for you to join me in welcoming the Assistant Secretary of State, the Honorable Marie Royce.
Thanks for Senator Blackburn for that nice story. And I want to say that thanks for mentioning my dad. My father was a straight commission salesman. He became a real estate broker, and he raised a family of 6 in Southern California, and he actually worked door to door in high school. So I learned a lot from my father, and so I was a marketing major and undergraduate, and was in a very big sales and marketing organization. So though I do my responsibilities as Assistant Secretary of State, I would say that the foundation of what I've learned in sales and marketing is really the foundation of the way I do everything today. So it's been an incredible training ground, and what Senator Blackburn shared with you is incredibly powerful about believing in yourself and not being afraid to try new things. And actually not being afraid to fail. One of the things a lot of times happens when I speak, people ask me about things, and I do a lot of sports analogies, things like golf. Anybody here ever seen golf before, or gone to the beach and saw waves? Well, as always, when you surf, there's always typically 10 waves that are good. They go back in kind of a cycle. And I asked these students at Georgetown, what is the best wave? And one of the Georgetown students who was getting her master's degree said, it's the wave you catch. So I thought that was a pretty good answer. But what I want to say to you today is, first of all, I first want to say thanks to the United States Senate and to the House of Representatives for supporting our Bureau. I'm also proud to say that I had a unanimous confirmation by the U.S. Senate for my position as Assistant Secretary of State. Thank you. Thank you. So I really appreciate that. I also want to recognize a few people in the audience. First of all, I want to say thank you to the Global Education Concepts team and to everyone here at Southwestern for this warm welcome. And I also want to say thank you to my team members who are here, JP and David. Yeah, thank you. And I'll be saying a few words about Ambassador Tihomir, but thank you for being here. That's very nice of you to come in from Bulgaria, because he's at DC. And lastly, I also want to welcome our guests, the Borchettas, who came today. Mr. and Mrs. Borchetta are leaders in the industry of music here in Nashville. I want to say I'm responsible for education and culture globally. This is an example of what we did, where we sent top jazz musicians around the world to represent the United States through music. And the Borchettas are going to help me work with country artists and give me advice to help us with country artists representing the United States. We already have country artists that do that, but they've also said they would even help us more in Nashville. So thank you very much. Let's give them a round of applause. So I want to say that Senator Blackburn's experience of success and leadership is very inspiring, of course, as the first woman sales representative here, and of course, as the first woman elected to the U.S. Senate in the state of Tennessee. I will also add that we also have something in common. I went out and represented the United States as a young leader. I went out and represented as part of the American Council of Young Political Leaders. I went out and represented the U.S. to Poland and Hungary, and Senator Blackburn, when she was a younger leader, went out to Estonia and Finland in '96. Is that right, Senator? So we both were young leaders. So you can see the power of young leaders. Right now, 1 out of every 3 world leaders has been in one of my programs. So imagine you're looking at one of the top world leaders who's probably sitting right next to you, right here, right? So that's pretty powerful. I also want to say that your insights, and also you're going to get to meet many new people here, and those friendships are very, very powerful. I also want to add that there are so many countries here, but I want to ask you, who in the room is their first time in the United States? Wow. Okay, it's pretty powerful. All right, anyone here, raise your hand if it's your second time. Okay, it's pretty great. My understanding is that we have over 170 visitors, and I'm going to do something we do from when I was in California. We used to do it, and it's called the one clap. So instead of, when I call out your country, instead of going, you're going to just do one clap. So I'm going to call your country out, and from that country, I'm going to ask you to give it the one clap. Okay? All right. Ready? Kyrgyzstan. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Okay, so if you're from Kyrgyzstan, give it one clap. Kyrgyzstan? All right, great. One more time. Kyrgyzstan? Okay, that's good. Kazakhstan? Excellent. Azerbaijan? Great. Slovakia? Czech Republic? Well, that was good. Hungary? Russia? Ukraine? Macedonia? Turkey? Pakistan? Turkmenistan? Georgia, and Bulgaria. Okay, now did I miss any country? Oh, okay, what country?
I'm from Belarus.
Belarus, how about Belarus? All right, great. So let's give her, now we're allowed to do lots of claps. Yes. Yeah. Great, thank you, excellent. So I think that works. Okay. So I want to also say again that your ambassador from Bulgaria, for the Bulgarians, speaking of them, he'll be speaking with you in just a few minutes. And I know him from Washington, D.C., so he's very impressive, and he's a lovely wife who's a neurosurgeon, father of 2 children, right? So I'm so happy he could come in. He's going to be speaking to you a little bit later, and I'm going to also share with you about the important experience that you're developing here. One is that you're really learning to be problem solvers, and I want to add that also you're building your communities. I had an opportunity to talk to a couple of managers last night. You're going back to your communities and your community builders. One of the young ladies I spoke to said she's actually started entrepreneurship programs in 3 high schools. That's really powerful, and I want to keep encouraging you to do that. The exchange programs change the opportunities for people that participate. I bet you are thinking about things you've never thought about before. Isn't that right? Now that you've come to the United States. So what's incredible is that this is an amazing opportunity where you get to share a bit about yourself, your culture, your home country, with the American families that serve as hosts. You know, I wish the American families that serve as hosts were here with us in the room. I don't think there is anyone here. But I want to say thank you to them, those wonderful families that open up their homes to have you there to be part of this experience. But they're also getting so much from you. I want to tell you a little bit about a couple exchange visitors and what they did here in the United States. One is named Tihomir. He traveled from Kazakhstan to Nashville, and then he went on to live with a host family in Seattle for the summer. He visited Boeing and Amazon. He experienced a county fair and a baseball game. I'm sure a few of you have done that. He met numerous successful Southwestern Advantage alumni over the summer who invited him into their home and business. He then traveled on to California, which of course is my home state, and he made stops in Miami and New York. On his way home, I'd say that Tihomir made the most of his summer in America and I hope you will too. I know a number of you have been traveling. In fact, I've heard so much about the traveling that I think you've traveled more than most Americans. Would you say that's probably right? I think so. I also want to tell you about one other thing, is that I also work very closely with Southwestern, our team, to ensure that you have a very successful exchange experience and that your health, safety, and welfare is very important to us at the State Department. And I just wanted to share that with you. And I want to say how much I appreciate the efforts made by Southwestern. In addition, I want to talk to you a little bit about the fact that you're learning about the free enterprise system of the United States, and that's very, very important. And I hope you take a little bit about that back to your countries, and I know that you've been doing that. As a former leader in the corporate world and as a former educator, I want to just say that one of the biggest things that I promote globally is entrepreneurship worldwide. The ability to start your own business, to make your own company, to actually create jobs. I want you to take what you've learned here at Southwestern and take that back to your countries. I want to tell you about one of the exchange participants that actually from Southwestern took what he learned from this program and he founded a company called OVO Energy in the United Kingdom. That company that he created now employs over 1,000 people back in the United Kingdom. That was one of the companies that he created to actually create jobs. Then Timo and Irma from Estonia created a business called Pipe Drive, which has now 85,000 customers around the world doing business in 140 countries. So they were just like you sitting here. And now they've gone back to their country and started a new business. Isn't that great? Yeah. That's pretty great. Now I'm going to also tell you about another alum from your program here. Her name is Dita from Czech Republic. So, yeah, Dita from Czech Republic. So I just want to tell you about Dita. Dita from Czech Republic started a business to help people learn IT skills, and Forbes magazine named Dita as one of the top women under 30 under 30 award of business leaders in Europe last year. Isn't that amazing? So that's pretty powerful. Yeah. So wouldn't you agree with me that these stories are pretty inspiring? I think they're incredible. As President Trump has stated, and this is a powerful quote, you bring fresh eyes to old problems. Because as young people, you're not burdened by the failed thinking of the past. Again, you bring fresh eyes, and we really, really appreciate that. We look so forward to hearing your success stories at the end of the summer, and most importantly, learning what you do with your exchange experience once you get back to your countries. Again, each one of you are the change makers. You're the next voices to be heard. I want to say thank you for everything that you're doing to actually enrich our culture. We really appreciate that. I want to inspire you to set your goals, work hard, and achieve your dreams. And I want to wish each of you the best experience possible here in the United States. I see each of you as ambassadors for your country. And if you can, when you get back from the United States back, take a little bit piece of the United States back to your country. And I want to say thank you very much for all you're doing here to make a strong contribution. Thank you. Thank you.